Hello, everyone. Let me just check really quick if we are live, because we're live, I think, but I'm not sure. Let me see. Or you can just comment if you can already see me. Yeah, we're live. Okay, perfect. So welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope you had a good one. It's our fifth free live coding lesson, and we're coding in AskQL. And today, guys, today we have a good one. We're going to talk about queries, and probably not only queries. That's always a little bit of a mystery. But yes, we're going to talk about queries. And other than that, I want to tell you that we got swag. So we got stickers and we got t-shirts, and whoever earned the swag in our little thing on GitHub, it's coming to you probably in a few weeks. We're gonna send it over to you this week, the whole package. So yay. And yeah, so one more thing I want to show you really quick. Let me show you just Playground. We have already resources available, so you can just click and see what's in AskQL. You can go to custom or built-in resources and see what functions are already implemented in the language, and there are also available values or variables, so you can just check it out. I also want to show you our beautiful page, and you can always go here and learn a little bit more about the language. And you have all the links from this website as well to the Playground, and you can go from here directly to the GitHub and check media release and check the current version of the language. And one more time, guys, I want to ask you, if you don't follow us on Twitter yet, please do. Here is our account. It's at Xfaang. That's it. You are very welcome to just say hi, connect with us there as well. And yeah, I'm gonna add Marcin now to the stream. Okay, we're together.
Nice.
So hello, Marcin. How are you this Monday?
Hello, wonderful. I love Mondays. Favorite day of the week.
Yeah, really? Okay. Lucky you.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I just showed everyone the new. It's not a new version of the Playground, but that the fact that we have resources available, right? So everyone can just check out the functions and values and do a little bit of, a few exercises if they will. So it's always a good idea to practice, right? And okay, you know what? I've been thinking about my progress as a code newbie, and I come up with few observations about myself. One of them is that I want to put if statement to pretty much everything I write now, because I just don't know. I'm not sure what the language knows itself and what it doesn't. So I kind of want to add this if statement just to make sure it works. But I've heard it's a common thing when you're not very experienced. So maybe that's a good sign. And I also at times get lost in the syntax, and I also don't always know what function is already implemented to the language and which function I have to create. It's just something I struggle with. Did you have similar issues? years
This is
ago?
yes, this is. I would say this is pretty common for everyone who is learning and new programming languages, a new programming language, because those resources and values that you mentioned, more resources really, because those you know most commonly you're gonna find resources, so like the stuff you can do something with, right? You can call a resource, it's gonna provide you a value. It can provide you a different value depending on how you call it. So it's really like this useful thing to you, and like it's like a word in a new language that you're learning, right? You're learning this
Yeah,
new language. First you only knew a few words, then you know another word and more words, and then you sort
in
of
the
learn how to
sentence. Yeah,
formulate sentences from those words and stuff like that. So what you're coming through is very very common. Everyone into programming has been through the very same process, and I mean, so the way about it, I think, of course, it's personal. Like everyone's gonna have a slightly different approach to it, slightly different path. I think like repetition and also like solving a similar problem, but a slightly different, really like broadens your perspective, your awareness, helps you find common patterns, and that's the yeah that's the best way to go about it. And the computer is a really useful tool when learning language, because any time of a day and night, anytime you want to do it, you can just sit down and start writing it, and you're gonna get feedback immediately.
of
That's a
course. Yeah, yeah, totally. I can see that we have a comment. Thank you, Piotr Shintara. Piotr is saying that we're live. Thank you.
yeah.
That's always good to know. So yeah, that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. But yeah, I think just being a code newbie it's just not fun in the games. I guess sometimes it's a struggle, but also I believe it's the matter of practice. So
I mean, no matter how experienced you are, you're gonna come into situations that can be very frustrating, uh, unless you have, unless you really grow a better attitude to it, and be more like caring, I guess, about your own progress. Be more like humble, not like, I mean, really you have to be easy on yourself, not only as a beginner, but really as a programmer, because like what we do here is quite complicated, and as smallest of mistake can make your program not work, which can be just frustrating, because I mean it's easy and you want to make it work, and why does it not work? And you're gonna find it
or
pretty much
sometimes
every
it works and you still don't know why.
I'm just saying it's always like this. It's always like this. It's not about, oh, I'm such a newbie. Why doesn't it work? It's like, it's always gonna be like it. It's programming
Yeah,
is very rewarding, but it's also quite complicated, and
mm.
really, you have to be quite easy on yourself if you want to have a good time with it.
I'm having a good time, but like, of course, I'm just not gonna, uh, make myself feel bad about the things I don't know yet.
Yeah,
I think that telling people about these struggles you have as a code newbie might be a good thing, because probably everyone deals with similar things. So I just thought I would share
I
my
think so.
observations. So queries, right? That's
Yeah.
today's topic. Yay! What about queries? I just know that the query is basically a way to ask a server for something, and that's it.
Yeah. It's to some extent, it's even simpler than the stuff we've been doing previously, because now we're just gonna describe the outputs that we want to get back from the computer. We don't. I mean, later on we're gonna get into more complicated examples, but in the beginning it's just gonna be describing like what value and what nested. So what like the value and what details you want to get about the information that is interesting to you, and then we're gonna sort of like get more into more complex stuff. I mean, the reason why I wanted to show you this is that up to this point, we've been computing stuff. Like we've been like saying, okay, we have this algorithm and we need to like compute a factorial from 10 or 100, and just to see that we can, and it was quite useful. Now, I just wanted to show you also this from the perspective of the computer communication, right? You can imagine like I have some secret information and I need to pull it out from that other computer, because it's not on mine. It's not my computer. I need to actually go out and get it from somewhere else. So it's
already feeling like a hacker.
Yeah.
Bring it out. Let's do it.
It's gonna be very fun, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm ready to code, as usual. So whenever you're ready, I can share my screen and start coding.
Sure. Awesome. So let me share my screen first,
Okay.
sort of like to start, and then we can change. All right.
I need to stop sharing my screen. Okay.
Are we okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. You're still seeing stuff on my screen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So as you have mentioned previously, like we like updated it a little bit, so now it's easier, especially like the stuff that should be interesting as you go into the language is this reference. So sort of like gives you information what you can use, what you can expect from this programming world that you get access to here with this editor. So for instance, we have something like those values. I wanted to start here because it's sort of like easier. These are those secrets that are available and that we need to get from. So this is this is sort of like just for you to see what sort of values are there. But I mean, usually in like computers, this can be like a database, a very like big amount of data that you just gonna query like different parts of it, right? So you can see like here's like some list of friends. This is like some list of parents, sort of other objects that themselves they have properties. So you can imagine like at different times you might want to like get information about it. So query, right? So the way we start about this, quite simple. We're just gonna let me sort of show it like this. Oh, okay, that's quite interesting. Okay, so as you can see, there is something like pretty much everything you see here on the right side. We can write here. So for instance, let's say client names. Gonna run it. So you're gonna get pretty much the same value over here. So you see like, okay, I wanted to ask the client name and I got the value exactly like as I expected. The difference is like this, obviously on the right side is like a source code. You're not gonna get access to it. This is like internal stuff to that specific server that we're talking to. Right now I'm showing this to you so you sort of like know what things are there. So you can imagine like what happens if like we wanted to get that piece of information.
Parents.
Yeah. So you could just say, obviously, parents. But the issue with this approach is that it gives you all the information sort of like in bulk together, right? And this is this is not usually gonna be what you want. You'd rather have like very specific, set of information that you need. So you don't need to process like all of this big, chunk of data over the network, because like if you're only gonna use the first name of the first person, like why, transfer all of this information? Because like this is gonna be this is just gonna make your application slow, your query slow, and just not very efficient. So what we have here instead is called a query. Query is like another construction in this language. It's very easy. You can just say query, and inside the query, you can be very more specific about what you want. Let me show you. So for instance, you can say, I want to look into parents, and from inside the parents, I just want to get the first name. I wish, they, yeah. Okay. Right. So first name, you see, like I made a mistake here, but over here you can see like just by using the query, I was able to be more specific about what I want. I not only said parents, but I said what sort of like from within the parents what I need, and I got this back. So very similarly, like if you can provide a list of things here, so it can be I want the first name and the last name, and I mean if you wanted to look into other values like the friends, you could also do it even here. Just say, oh, also I want the IDs of friends. You see? So the query is like this thing that gives you this very specific access for the values that you need.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Let me go back on. Yeah. Here. Okay. Right. So in here, like as you can see, like the demos. In here, you're gonna find a few examples, like those simple like queries, like what they do, and yeah, and nested queries as well. Okay. So so far so good, right?
Yeah, I'm just looking right now at this nested query, and it's maybe you're going to explain it, but it doesn't say at the beginning within what it's supposed to be looking for first names and last names.
Oh yeah. Like you also have like a top. I mean, so the first name is actually like a sort of like a top level thing. You can just do this. Like the first name, it's not in this specific environment. The first name is also available as a top level thing. So
but you have like two. I think you had like two first names.
Yes.
So
but this
it just returns the first.
Yes, the other thing was slightly different because it was about the first name inside the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you can also do this in the language. You can say, I want the first parents and the first name of that. Gonna give you Padme. But if you said, I just wanted the first name top level value, you would get this. To sort of like get I guess better understanding about this, better perspective, so you can take a look again at the values, and you can see inside the values that in fact you have the first name here at the top level, also the middle name, last name, and so on, but also like inside the parents you're gonna see objects that also have fields.
Okay. I just thought that Luke Skywalker was in some sort of a list, but it's not. It's top level record.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Those things, those identifiers, they only make sense in the object, sort of like where they're in. So this is just a different context, has to do with different contexts. Like the first name of this guy is describing one of the parents, you see, and the first name in here is really just like inside the values, so it's not, it really doesn't have any specific context to it, so it's just like a more generic information, you could say.
Right. Okay, got it.
Okay. So would you like to do a few examples with this?
Sure.
All right. Okay, so let us switch.
Okay, playground. Okay, ready. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So let's start with like getting the last name value actually.
Do I write it here or instead of ask?
If you just need one value, you don't actually need to use the query. Like the query is this more sort of like complex thing. Oh, okay. All right. Just wanted to leave it out there. Awesome. So as you can see, this like says Skywalker. So it happens that inside the values you have two more properties that describing the names. If you click through to the values, then you can see that you have the first name, middle name, and last name. You see?
The full name, yeah.
Yeah. So what if you wanted to get all of those 4 values at the same time? How would you do it?
Name? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So let's figure it out. How would you write a single query that pulls 4 of this at the same time?
Well, it's not identified. I mean, because if I would like to get all the information from the list, for example, friends, I would just say friends, right? And it would return everything. But this one is not named as a whole.
It's not. It's not. However, like with query, you're allowed to specify a few things at the same time that you need. And
I can call for everything, for last name, first name, and just write.
I think so. Yeah. We can try that.
So first name, last name. Oh, first name, middle name, and then full name. Let's see what happens. Oh.
Why do you think that happens?
Because it did all the calls, but it just shows the last one.
Yes, exactly. It's all and it was the same. It was exactly like that with our previous programs. If you remember, like always the last thing was became the value was returned, only the last thing. So if you were to put like the first name at the end of the list, then you would get the first name.
I can. use concat for this.
Interesting. Yeah. You could. Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
I don't know if it's gonna work, but
nice. Yeah. There you go. You know, you got the secret. Yeah. Good job. Another way to go about this would be to use the query. The query construction, it allows you to pull a few things at the same time, and the query is gonna give them back to you using the same keys. So just easy for you to see.
Like this, or last name and full name works.
Nice. So query is like saying, hey, these are the values that are interesting to me, and I need to get all of those. Like, see, like this this chunk of code is my entire query, and you do it within the query construction, like so.
Okay, got it.
Awesome. Cool. So query has more options to it. So imagine like you really did not like the first name of it, and you wanted to say to be something different, like I don't know, maybe given name or something. Just another way to say the same thing. I'm just saying, like, imagine like you see the answer that we got on the right side. It uses exactly the same keys like you provided. It has the first name key, the middle name key, last name key, full name key. It has all the information that we requested, but also those information are keyed. They have the same keys. There is a way for you to change the keys, actually.
What? Didn't you say that all the data are immutable though? So
yeah, it's we're not changing. We're actually not. So here with query, you're sort of like creating a new value based on the previous one. Nothing gets changed. It's just like the query is like this magic word that gives you like a structure of information that you requested, and it can actually be it can be very flexible with it. So you don't only get to specify the keys that you want, you can do more stuff with it. So imagine that instead of first name, we wanted to the key to be given name. We want to get the same key, but we want to name it differently. So you would do it. Okay, you can try that. That's a good start, definitely. So how's that work? Okay.
Gonna work.
Yeah. So the given name is gonna say you, I don't know what it is. So there is a way for you to say what a given name is, and you do it with a colon in this. So you say given name, colon, and then the actual key.
Oh. First name.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go. You see? So sort of like by using this,
so we're not changing the data, we're just changing the keys.
Yeah, the keys, because like when you call to a different server, like this is them who assign those keys, like you see, like, and if now that you requested, it may be more useful for you to change the keys to something else, because in your sort of like system, it may make more sense to call things given name, not first name.
Right. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So okay.
Does it happen often though? Like when you
Oh yeah,
just
yeah,
have
yeah,
something in
definitely.
the database and you're like, that doesn't make sense for me, so I'm just gonna change it. It does, right?
It does. Yes, we make a lot of this manipulation, and it has to do even with like the data formats, and there is a ton of different data formats. You can have like a maybe you heard about it. There is like a JavaScript object notation called JSON. There is there are markup. There is whole family of markup languages, extensible markup languages, XML. HTML is kind of like a kind of this. So these are all like different formats that you can store data. And if you have like if your system is really good at processing JSON data, and you receive something which is not JSON data, then it makes sense for you to first transfer it into your sort of like format that's easier for you, and then start working on it. So the same really happens with those keys, and the keys are very important because if you have good keys, then you're gonna have be easy to understand your program.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So let's go even further, and let's imagine that you want the given name to be uppercase.
Oh, I've seen that function in the examples, but
So let's maybe take a look at the resources, and maybe let's find it, and then we know.
not here. Oh, I even have it open.
What a coincidence, right?
Yeah, but it just caught my attention, and then boom.
I need to be way more creative with
Okay.
examples. Yeah. All right.
Uppercase. Okay.
Yes. So this is definitely could use more documentation, but I mean it is there, and you can see that it just by looking at it's a JavaScript source code file that you're looking at. But like we don't need to, and very often in programming you're gonna see this, that you see a thing that you're not familiar with, but you still can sort of like learn something from it. And it's very often the case that you don't need to understand everything about something to still be able to learn from it, you see? So here we see something like two uppercase equals resource. So this tells us that there is like this two uppercase resource. And we also see that type string, you already know what a string is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, text, basic, right? So that to uppercase, it's gonna give you a string, and it also takes a string, because you can see like in this resolver, which is just a fancy name of really like a computation. You can see that it accepts a value that's also a string, produces a string, and its implementation is value dot to uppercase. This value dot to uppercase, it's like this is how object-oriented programming would look like, and this is a JavaScript way of saying this. In AskScript, you would say it differently, but just resources are a ways of getting access to JavaScript capabilities from within AskScript. So we have these resources, we have this resource, and we can use it, and here is how it works.
So would I do it like this? Oh.
Normally, yes. Normally you would do it like this. However, in query, this is a little bit different, slightly different in query. So in query, every time in query you need to first specify the key, and then the value that you need.
Okay, so I have keys specified already.
Yeah. You see, like at the given name, you first specify the key and then sort of like the value for that key. The same goes for to uppercase, really.
So I just go to uppercase, and it's gonna know that I want this middle name in uppercase, but by this,
You would have to. So now it says. So now the program says, okay, Marta wants middle name, and this middle name is supposed to be to uppercase. But like, notice that you didn't call the to uppercase. You just gave it a reference. So you can use to uppercase, for instance, parentheses, and inside those you can, inside, exactly.
All right, yeah.
Very nice. And there is also another way to do it. You remember, like with the colon?
What if would it work if I just put it right here and I don't know. I don't need that. Oh,
Middle name is not a function. Remember, the middle name is.
What did they do? No, of course not. To uppercase.
Okay. What's your what's the intended? What's our intention here? What is it that you would like to get?
I hoped it would be the short way to have everything in uppercase, but that's
interesting. Yeah, we like. There is no short way. There is no short way to do it. With every field, you have to specify that it needs to be uppercase. If you want this to be shorter, you can use the colon. You remember, so you can use middle name colon to uppercase. Yeah. Very nice. And actually, here you can be even shorter than that, because the query it's a common case that people would say middle key, the same key, and then the transformation. So instead of saying middle name colon to uppercase, you can just say middle name colon to uppercase, and it's gonna know that between those colons you want to use the same value. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
And you can, of course, you can mix those. You can change those. So you can be middle name to uppercase, but last name to lowercase, for instance, right? So sort of like lets you choose not only the fields that you want, but also how you wanna transform those.
Works.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me grab a charger.
Let's see what else is out there. Uppercase to string to lowercase. A split. It takes a string. So I don't know. It probably means that it needs a string as well. And the text.
Yeah. Okay, so the split is something that gonna divide a string into separate parts. So yeah, you can try that. So you can say split here, and So remember, like it already it takes two arguments. So it already has the first one from the thing on the left side, but you still need to give it the other one, the delimiter one, and the delimiter is something like if you like had a long string with commas inside, so you could split by those commas. So here you can just give it an empty string as an argument to split. So just like at the end of the split, you will have to open those parentheses and provide one extra argument, because actually split needs two arguments. So like, just an empty string. So that would be just backtick. Yeah.
Like this? Oh.
Yeah. Single quotes. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, so it separates every letter. I thought it would just split the word in half, but
yeah. I mean, it's split is more commonly used than if you have like a comma separated list of things. Like you have like item, comma, item second, comma, item third, and you wanted like to split those into separate things, then split really comes in handy. But like it's also sometimes you're gonna use it like so. So it's nice. I mean, as you can see, we already have a pretty flexible, pretty complicated result, with really gives you this flexibility here. Yeah.
We covered concat. We did the split, lowercase, uppercase, and I don't know, these three. Okay, this, I don't know what it means.
Which one? Oh, okay. Concat or which one?
It's index.
Oh, so index is just like if you have like a bigger project and you're gonna like divide your source code into files, and then you need to like put those into separate directories, to like keep everything organized. And so index is something that lets you say what should come out of those directories. So index is like a table of contents in a book. Gives you information where is what that is defined there. Yeah.
Okay. And the size?
This is yeah. Let's figure this out. What this does.
Well, it's what does that mean?
This is short for integer, so this is gonna be a number, basically. Takes in a string and gives you back a number.
Really? Number of what? Like how does it?
Let's try it and see.
String length, number of characters? I don't know. So string.
Maybe you can use it in query and see and figure out from that.
Add size to string. Oh, what happened? What did
I? You clicked on so here you clicked on the latest commit, on the latest change to this file.
Okay. So, okay. Index resource. It needs a number, right?
It gives you a number. It needs a string. Yeah.
Oh, so this is the input and this is the output.
Yeah. And also, as you can see in the path in the directory, this is AskQL /src, that stands for source, /svm, that stands for the virtual machine that runs the code. slash resources slash string. So all of this is gonna have string resources, and string resources are resources who take string and do sort of like some computation on a string, such as like gives you a lowercase, uppercase, split.
So we can take first name, for example,
Yes.
as a string.
Yeah.
And or yeah, let's try this one. Split. I don't know.
With the same case with split, you're gonna need to give the second argument. Yeah.
Okay, that's the split. Yeah, and size.
Okay.
Just like this, or do I need also?
You can. So size takes only one argument. So you can use the parents, and you can. I mean, that's up to you. It's not gonna make any difference.
So it just returns the number of characters within a string.
Mm-hmm. Can you make it so that we can see the first name at the same time as the size? Because now it disappeared. Now we just have the number.
What if I do it?
Of course.
And size first name, maybe.
Okay. Pretty nice. That's quite creative. It's not the. That's nice. Well done. I thought about a slightly different way to use it, because we can remember like the first name is the key that we assigned. So we can create another key called first name size, and that gives us another opportunity added.
Oh. But so we can size of the first name, size.
Yeah. And we like a line below, for instance, we can also print the first name. So then we can compare. It's very easy to see that the first name, it's a short one, and it's also.
Oh, why? Oh, okay. Typo.
See? I mean, yeah. So
here.
Yeah. Nice. Really quite. Yeah. What do you think about it? You like it? Do you think it's?
Yeah, I mean,
now for you?
It makes sense. Not all of, I don't know how to call them, string functions are like completely understandable. For example, this, but it's not going to be, because I'm not going to use it for
index. Interestingly enough, index.ts. It's a special file, and you're gonna see it in every directory. It doesn't have a resource. It just lists other resources. It's a special file, so it's not even you cannot even call it.
There's just one more function we haven't covered, and that's toString. And what it gives a string.
So this one is supposed to take in a value and give you back its string representation for it. So for instance, like if you have a number and you want to convert that to a string, then you would use the toString function for it. But unfortunately, yeah, this did not work actually last time I tried it. So
Oh.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm just not going to use it now. And that's it for now.
Yeah, I wanted to show you one more thing actually about query. Like you see, the query itself, if we go back to the playground, it's also a value, you see. So we can create a new we can create a new variable, a new constant, and assign a return value of this query to this constant. Yeah, like so, exactly.
Like this?
Yeah, and here, like starting from line 10, you can, do stuff with it. So you can, for instance, say, oh, okay, I only want to get a specific field of it,
But let me just try one thing really quick. Oh no, why?
This double colon only works with inside query, because inside query you need to start with the key. It's a special thing. But outside query, it's business as usual. There is no keys. So
do I have to repeat it?
Marta, you're outside the query. You see, in line 11, you're not inside the query anymore. So you don't use.
So will it work here then? If I go.
I don't think so, because this thing is only available outside of the definition. So you would have to, like, so for instance, let's go on line 10 at the end of our program. Let's write just Star Wars. Gives you just Star Wars you can write. Yeah, and see that and run this. Yeah. So here, two things happened. You created a Star Wars variable, you run the query, and the result of the query became the value of this variable, and then you printed it. You could, for instance, print just first name of the Star Wars, and that would also work. It's up to you what you. But yeah, you would need to say Star Wars first name to do it. Star Wars dot first name to do it.
It works, but it still works. So what if?
Yeah. But the difference is you could say Star Wars dot size of the first name, because this is something that is available inside Star Wars, but would not be available anywhere else. Because this is just a custom thing.
What size of the first name? Long name. Okay.
There you go.
But if I didn't put Star Wars here, what would happen? Okay.
I mean, this. The thing that happens inside query has no effect on the rest of the environment. So everything is still the same. It's only the Star Wars holds the new value. So if you want to get it, you need to use the same
So I have to. It doesn't make sense outside the query. I have to say within Star Wars, find me this and print it out.
Yes, exactly. That's it. So you sort of like you have those closed scopes of your program. You see, here's like the Star Wars computation. It does its own thing, which has no effect outside. And if you want to use it, then you need to have the Star Wars, variable, Star Wars value, and then using this dot, you can say, I want to get, a property of Star Wars. Because like Star Wars now is gonna be this object that you saw previously with all of those different keys. So if you want to get one of those, you're gonna have to say Star Wars dot and the name of the key that you need. Yeah.
Right. Okay, there is the part of me that wants to find out the way to make the whole Star Wars be uppercase list, but
okay.
You said there are no shortcuts, so
So you see, like with the middle name that we did, you would need to add two uppercase to every of those items. Yeah.
Oh no, there is no way to do this like this, or maybe even no, it won't make sense. No.
I mean, this would be possible, but it would require creating a new function. Like we did on previous lessons, we created a lot of functions for adding functionality to the language that we wanted to have but weren't there initially. So the same with this, like you say you'd like to have like the massive uppercase, which takes in like an entire object of things and transfers all of this into uppercase. So this is something that you can do definitely, but this is not built in. It's not a standard thing. You would need to create a custom function to have that functionality.
Okay, so let's leave it for another lesson, or maybe I'll try to make it.
Probably something for you to discover are those demos. I think right now you should be quite familiar with each one of those, and the three bottom ones are the queries. So you can always come back to it and use that sort of like a starting point. So you can see like the query with modifiers, for instance, what it does. Yeah.
We'll have to give it a look. All right, so we are. Let me just stop sharing my screen. You guys, how did you like it? I liked it, and I think it's quite. Yeah, it's quite. Queries are quite okay. So I'm happy. I'm happy to learn about queries as well. And guys, let us know what did you think about queries and about today's lesson in the comments on Twitter, on Facebook, or like LinkedIn, wherever you wish, and you will. And yeah, we are going to have another lesson next week, 7 p.m. from now on, and we're going to do some more coding, right?
Yeah.
And
I need to turn on some lights here because it's getting really dark.
But guess what? There was not a storm today.
Yeah.
During this lesson, so I don't know what happened, but it's the first time we're not having a storm. So thank you, Martin, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you. Bye.